Welcome back, children. Once again, this time we will be seeing the second part of working with queries. In this module, we will be discussing about managing an object, importing data in a database, creating queries using a wizard. What do you mean by managing an object? In MS Access, data itself is stored in different objects. Separate files are used to store different types of data. All these files are known as objects. Each of these objects acts as a store for the assigned data and exists as a separate documents in MS Access. Each object is used for a specific purpose, so it is labeled differently and it exists as separate documents in MS Access. You can open, save, close, and even rename the available objects individually in MS Access 2010. You can always open a pre-existing one, you can save a new one, and you can close one after you finish your work. 2010 version allows you to share a database online with the help of Microsoft SharePoint Server 2010. If you are having a licensed version, you can always use the online version of it, that is the Microsoft SharePoint Server 2010. To open an object, in the navigation pane, select the required object. Where is your navigation pane? It is on the left side of the screen. The navigation pane will list all the objects that you have. You select the required object, double click on it, and the document tabs bar appears. To save an object, on the document tabs bar, select the required object that you want. Then click the file tab and click save. To close an object, on the documents tab, select the required object. On the top right corner of the document tabs bar, click the close button. If you made any changes to the current object, a dialog box appears asking you to save the changes. Click no to close the object without saving the changes, and click yes to save the changes. That is, if you want to close an object, you just have to go to the documents tab bar, and in that you have to click on the close button. When you click on the close button, every time without saving, when you close, they always ask you a question: do you want to save the changes that you have made? If you press yes, the changes will be made to your object. If it is no, the changes will not be added to the object. To rename an object, in certain cases, when we name a file, it is for a purpose that it suits. Sometimes we need to modify it. For example, you are storing the marks. At the beginning, when you're doing, you always say marks for examination. But when you have more than one examination, what do? You rename it according to the name of the examination conducted, right? So the renaming purpose comes into play in most of the cases. In the navigation pane, right-click the required object. A shortcut menu appears. Select rename, type the desired name and press enter. It's very simple. On the navigation pane, that is the left side, you have to click on the required object. A shortcut menu will come. In that, the rename option is there. You can click on it, then enter the new name and press enter. Importing data in a database. How do you import new data into your database? MS Access allows you to import data from other sources in your current database. The format of the imported data can be same or different from your current database. It allows you to take data from outside sources too. It can be same or different from the data that you are currently using. You can use the Get External Data dialog box to import Word documents, text files, or Excel spreadsheets, among others. You can take data from many external sources. It can be Word documents, it can be text files, it can be Excel spreadsheets. It depends on what type of data you are importing. Steps to import data. Click the External Data tab. From the Import and Link group, click the type of file you need to import. The Get External Data dialog box appears. Follow the instructions on the screen. In the Import Spreadsheet wizard, click Finish. The data is transferred to the current database. That is, you need to first click on the External Data tab. In that, you have to look for Import and Link group. In that, when you click on it, you get the Get External Data dialog box. The name of the dialog box is Get External Data dialog box. Then you have to follow the instructions that is being given to you. And in the Import Spreadsheet wizard, you have to click the Finish option in the end to get the things imported into your database. Creating queries using a wizard. How do you create queries using a wizard? A query is a request to sort or filter data in MS Access. By running a query, we can extract meaningful information from an existing database to answer important questions regarding data, to perform calculations, to combine data from different tables, etc. That is, a query is actually a filter for your data. You have data coming from different sources. You need to identify the file of a particular child from different objects. Then this is the thing that you need. You can raise a query and extract the meaningful information from it. These things are basically used to perform calculations or combine data from different tables. We can create a query using the query wizard. You have to use the query wizard to create a query. The query wizard allows you to calculate and summarize the available records and save the query for future use. It actually helps you to calculate, to summarize the available records, and it helps you to save the query for a future use. The query wizard creates a query using a predefined template that can import data from multiple tables. It depends on what type of query that you are raising. It is always a predefined one. It will always define what all things that you need. Based on that, they will be importing data from multiple tables. Steps to create a query using a wizard. This is a lengthy process. It is put across 3 slides, so we will be going through it one by one. The first step for that is you have to open the database that you want. Then you have to click on the Create tab. From the Queries group, in the Create tab, there is a Queries group. You have to click Query Wizard. The new Query Wizard appears. Click Simple Query Wizard and click OK. In that, you have to go for the Simple Query Wizard and then click OK. The Simple Query Wizard dialog box appears. From the Table or Queries drop-down list, select the required table. From that dialog box, you have to look for Table and Queries drop-down list and select the required table that you need. From the Available Fields list, click the single right arrow button to select the required field. The selected field is added to the Selected Fields list. So till now what is happening is you have to open your database, you have to press the Create tab. From that you have to go to the Queries group. In that you can find the Queries Wizard and the new Query Wizard appears. You have to click on Simple Query Wizard and then press OK. The Simple Query Wizard dialog box appears. From the Table or Queries drop-down list, select the required table. From the Available Fields list, click the right arrow button to select the required field. The selected field is added to the Selected Fields list. Let's continue. Then repeat step 6. For example, if you want to create a new mark list, you have to use the headings that has been used in the previous mark list too, right? So you have to keep on selecting the fields that you require. For example, serial number. name of the student, all the subjects, all this has to be included into the list in order to make a proper mark list, right? So you have to keep on selecting all these things until you have got all the fields or all the headings inside your table. Click Next. The Would You Like to Detail or Summary Query screen appears. Select the Detail option to view every selected field of every record. Then you can go through the detail part of it, and you can see that use the detail option to view every selected field of every record. To specify individual fields, if you want to specify a particular thing for a particular field, then this is the time to do it. Select the summary option and click the summary options button. From the summary option dialog box, click the individual summary values to be calculated. You have to go to the summary option, you have to click on it, the dialog box appears, then you can ask for separate individual summary values to be calculated. Click OK. For example, you have 5 different subject marks entered, and you would like to know the children who have scored more than 80 percentile in each subject. Then you have to give the query there. Then only we will be able to list out in which all subjects how many people got more than 80%, and that has to be applied in all the fields separately. You will return to Would you like to detail or summary query screen? Click Next. Under the What title do you want for the query text box, enter the Decide Query Title. Select the Open the Query to View Information option. Click Finish. The query results appears in the datasheet. I told you if you want the toppers, say those who have scored more than 80 percentile, we have to set each column data so that in the end you will be able to see the people who have scored 80 percentile in different subjects. Once you finish arranging all these things and you press finish, you'll be able to see the results in a datasheet view. With this, we come to the end of today's presentation. Please go through the pictures given in your textbook so that you'll be able to understand the concept clearly. Thank you.